Like so many other hunters, it was my dad who taught me to hunt and instilled in me the respect and passion for nature that drives my mission to discover America's last pure hunting. This week, he's joining me on my quest to chase some of the Heartland's legendary whitetails.
If he just steps out about 2 feet, I got a shot.
He's stepping out. He's stepping out.
My name is Willi Schmitz.
He's coming this way.
I've been a hunter my entire life. It's my passion and it's in my blood. I'm traveling across the globe in pursuit of the world's last wild hunting adventures. And when it's real and wild, it's never easy. This is pure hunting.
Pure Hunting is brought to you by Bowtech, Refuse to Follow, Spot Hog, the world's toughest archery products, S.4 Gear, meeting the demands of nature and those who tame it, Electronic Shooters Protection, your hearing matters, and by Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Campbell Cameras, order your camera today and start enjoying the sport of filming hunts. The Sportsman's Guide, name brand shooting supplies and hunting gear at closeout prices. Buck Forage Oats. Buck Forage Oats, chicory and clover grow and attract deer with Buck Forage premium seed.
This week takes me back to where my love for pure hunting all began. I'm going back to my roots in Kansas to hunt with my dad, who made me the outdoorsman that I am today. He's found a great pure hunting opportunity for us to chase the legendary big bucks of the Heartland, to continue a family legacy of hunting that was passed down from him to me, and now from me to my children. It's nice to finally be here in Kansas, Dad. It was about a 6.5 hour drive, and been looking forward to this trip for a while to come hunt deer again.
I have been too. I crossed it off on my calendar, and you're here, and tomorrow we go out and scout around. And I'm pretty excited about this new area. My friend Rod Meyer has 2,500 to 3,000 acres lined up. There are a lot of deer from what I understand, and maybe we can find a couple of good ones.
Well, I'm anxious to see the property. I know we're going to go out tomorrow and scout it out, and I'm disappointed in losing the land we did last year just because it was a great piece of property. We hung trail cameras. You'd gone out on a regular basis to monitor them, and we knew we had some big bucks.
Definite big buck.
We shot a great deer, but it's always exciting to try something new, and we're doing it on our own as we like to do.
Yeah, that's right.
And nothing would make me happier than for both of us to get a big Kansas deer. It'd be fantastic. Regardless, you and I are out in the field together, so what more could we ask for? We got up early the next morning to sight in our rifles and make sure we were ready for the big bucks we dreamt about. Shall we?
Sure. A little high. About dead center.
It's a dead deer, and you ought to be right on about 200 yards.
I'm happy.
Then we headed out to meet up with Dad's friend Rod Meyer, who is still the owner and leasee of the properties. Rod is a retired outfitter who used to guide hunts on this land and was willing to give us access for a do-it-yourself hunt. Since this was a new area for us, we got there a day before the opener to scout the properties. Rod was kind enough to take some time to point out property boundaries and some of the bedding areas and travel corridors he knew of. Former outfitters who still own the land they used to guide on can be great people to contact when you're looking for a pure hunting opportunity. It's the first morning of the hunt. We decided to try still hunting along one of the bedding areas that Rod had pointed out yesterday to catch some deer coming back from the fields.
We get down the other side of this creek, pick a spot you're comfortable with. Hopefully we can catch some of those deer transitioning as they go from feed to bed. Okay. So let's cross over there and just kind of take a look around. They ought to be coming back from feed now, and we'll just sit and wait.
All right, good. Yeah, this is pretty good. Now we're just waiting for the deer.
We've done all we can do.
That's right, come on, deer.
There's 3 does up high on that bank.
Maybe there's a buck following.
Although the rut is almost over, a buck might still come out of hiding to pursue a doe, so we watched carefully.
Coyote.
With not much happening, we decided we needed another pair of eyes to help us understand the deer patterns on the property. We headed over to hang a trail cam. Hopefully this gives us some clues we can use in the coming days.
We'll probably do it in here. There's a scrape here, licking branch, and I'll set the trail cam up here. Put some scent in here, and I'll put a scent dispenser up here and see if we can't capture that buck. Whew. How's that smell? There we go. That definitely is a shooter.
You take him.
He's got to come out by that green patch. If he comes out there, I've got him.
It's dawn on day 3, and we've decided to glass from a high vantage point until we get a better sense of the deer movements. We're pretty exposed up on this ridge, so I'm setting up a pop-up blind for cover. Something's not working. Or at least that was the plan. Dang. Crap. A broken hub ended that idea. Time for plan B. I guess we'll have to make do without the blind after all.
There's turkeys over there on that sandbar.
That'd be a good place for a buck just to hang out if he didn't want to be seen.
Yeah, you look at the tips of those phragmites, and it's hard to know. There's a deer coming right over here. It's a little buck. Just a little tiny. 1.5 old.
Hey, Will, there's a buck right there. I think it's a shooter. Check it out.
That's a big 8-point. That definitely is a shooter.
Yeah, you take him.
He's got to come out by that green patch, otherwise I don't have a shot. If he comes out there, I've got him.
Try your deer call.
You heard that? Crap, he's going the other way. I wonder what spooked him. Dang, that was a nice buck.
He was a nice buck.
It's the best one we've seen. Dang. That's a good vantage point. Obviously, they're cruising the river, so why don't you go get your ground blind and we'll set it up, and I think that'll help.
Our original intention was to sit up here with the ground blind to help with our scent and sunlight and movement. But my ground blind had a malfunction, so we weren't able to go get my dad's till about 20 minutes ago. It's really windy. We've seen one really good buck, a couple little ones, and a couple of does. So we're gonna sit this out a little bit and see what happens, see if we can get that big buck coming back. But it's a lot more comfortable than getting beat up by that wind, that's for sure. It's about 11 o'clock. Haven't seen much deer movement for probably an hour and a half. I think we're gonna call this set up and maybe do a push in another property drive or two. And what do you think, Dad?
You're really going to have to push them out of their beds. They're not going to get up and walk around on their own. They don't like the wind any better than we do. I need to move around a little bit too.
Okay. The wind was howling, and with the wind keeping the deer down, we left the comfort of the blind and headed to a creek bed we thought would work well for a deer drive. Since my dad wanted to warm up, he offered to drive them first. I'd say give us 15 minutes to get back and set up. You know, try not to get any scent in that area because I'll probably blow out, but I think it's a good narrow funnel in there. And with the wind the way it is and the time of day, I think that's our best chance for getting on some deer this afternoon. Good thing it's not windy today.
I'm looking at my watch now. The clock's ticking.
Well, you give it till 1:20 and I'll be ready.
That's a deal.
It's so fun being here in Kansas, hunting with my dad, just doing what we've done since I was following him around the woods at 4 and 5 years old. He loves driving deer. Comes a couple of deer. There's a buck behind. It's a pretty good buck. He's a small 10. I'm not going to take him. He's too small. Man, if one of those was just a bigger buck, it worked out perfectly. They came by us at 25, 30 yards. There's 4 does right here. We set up just perfectly. I think they'd want to stay in this creek bottom if they got pushed, and sure enough, they all did. Oh, maybe there's some more deer in there. We'll just hang out for a bit. There's a buck up there in the trees. If he comes in, I'm going to take him. There he is.
There's some coming behind.
They're acting pushed.
There's a big buck coming too.
That buck's a heavier buck.
He's a good one.
Comes a couple of deer. It's a pretty good buck. He's a small 10. He's too small. There's a buck up there in the tree. If he comes in, I'm going to take him. There he is.
Come on. Dang, just needed 10 more feet.
That would have been a dandy buck. Dang.
Here comes my dad, and it looks like he's not satisfied with only driving deer.
Hey. Hey, dude. What are you doing?
I think he likes you.
Oh. Well, the possum drive worked great.
Don't tell me no deer came out.
A couple came out.
That's the best deer country I've seen of what we've hunted. There were scrapes, rubs. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Dad, we were in the perfect spot.
Well, yeah, I can see that. You can see this way, you got great view that way.
You know, all of a sudden, does started coming out and 2 small bucks, one 3.5-year-old 10-point, 25, 30 yards away. Next thing you know, boy, this boy came out and he would have been a 10. I don't know if his G4 was snapped off or not, but he's a good buck. And I'll bet you still didn't kick out every deer that was in there.
Oh, no, I'd bet money on that too.
Kansas is known for its great deer hunting, but there's also a rich history here that not many people know about or pay attention to.
When this part of Kansas was being settled and homesteaded, there were no trees. It's hard to believe when you look around and see all the trees that are here now. The only way that the farmers could hang fence was to use these limestone fence posts. There's a ton of limestone around here. The other cool thing is you can see a lot of fossils, a lot of shells. Over time, a lot of these fence posts have been removed and used as ornamental pieces in people's yards. They carved their address in these, put them on their front step. It's really kind of a unique part of this American history. Pretty cool. Let's go check out this trail cam, eh? Well, it's too bad we couldn't get in here and scout and hang trail cams before the hunt to say, okay, this is a deer we're after, or this is the quality we should expect, you know?
Right.
So let's see if maybe we got this big boy on camera here, and maybe I can come out sometime this summer. We can hang some trail cams and maybe hang some tree stands and do that type of thing.
Right.
Oh, there's a fresh track right here.
Oh yeah, lots of fresh tracks.
We'll just see if we captured anything, and we'll take this down and take it back, and it's easier to flip through it on the computer. The trail camera did reveal that some pretty good bucks had come through the area, so we decided to come back here tomorrow to give this area another shot. We're just hoping the wind dies down so we have a fighting chance. Wind was supposed to be out of the south today, and now it's more out of a westerly component. The problem is it's going to blow everything where they're trying to go to. And we were going to try to get on the other side of this property with the south, but with the west it's going to blow it out of here. So I think we'll go down here. As long as it stays more westerly, I think it'll keep it going against that bluff.
We're ready.
But if it's just not working, we'll back out. Day 4. I was the primary shooter yesterday, so today it's Dad's turn to take the lead.
We got a pretty good travel corridor with these deer, so now it's just a waiting game. My dad's up to bat, so we'll hopefully get him a good buck coming by today. I feel naked being in the field without a gun, so I gotta put my guide hat on. Guiding on properties I've hardly ever been on, but I'm with my dad, and that's what matters.
There's a doe. And I think a fawn.
There's 3 of them.
Are there 3?
Yeah. Maybe they'll filter down here to the bottom.
Maybe there'd be a big buck with them. Wind's perfect.
Wind's good. Wind's real good.
There's some coming behind too.
They're acting pushed. There may be a buck coming. There's a spike following up those toes.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe he's pushing them, but he might be.
There's a bigger buck coming too. See that?
Yeah, okay.
After the spike.
That buck's a heavier buck.
I think I'll make it ready to shoot.
I think you better.
Okay.
There's a better buck coming in behind him.
If he just steps out about 2 feet, I got a shot.
He's stepping out. He's stepping out.
One more step.
Pure Hunting is brought to you by Bowtech. Refuse to follow. Spot Hog, the world's toughest archery products. S.4 Gear, meeting the demands of nature and those who tame it. Electronic Shooters Protection. Your hearing matters. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. And by Growth Weaver, weaving powerful digital solutions into your marketing mix. The Sportsman's Guide, name brand shooting supplies and hunting gear at closeout prices. And Tenzing, equipping hunters to go further.
After a couple days of strong winds, it seems to have finally calmed down, so I'm hoping we see some deer moving this morning.
There's a doe over there. And I think a fawn.
There's 3 of them.
Are there 3?
Yeah. They're acting pushed. There's a spike following up those toes.
There's a bigger buck coming too.
That buck's a heavier buck.
I think I'll make it ready to shoot.
I think you better. Dad, there's a better buck coming in behind him.
Oh yeah.
Definite shoot. Definite big buck.
Oh yeah, he's a good one.
Dad, watch these toes over here. They got us pegged. Don't move a bunch.
If he just steps out about 2 feet behind that tree, I got a shot.
There he goes. He's stepping out. He's stepping out.
One more step.
You don't need to shoot him again. He's going down. Nice shot.
I think he's gonna stay down too.
How fun was that? We had more deer around us this morning.
That was the scary part because any one of them could have busted us.
Definite big buck.
Oh yeah, he's a good one.
We had to wait for him to step out of that tree, and these does had us pegged. I just kept waiting for a blow the whole thing up, but he just stepped out. Thank God there's still a little bit of rutting activity going on.
I had a feeling today might be the day.
It's always easy to say after the fact. You should have said that at
Well.
breakfast, and now you'd have been prophetic. Let's go. You need to take the lead.
I like it. I see some blood. Well, that's not a bad shot, is it?
Yeah, look at that. The mass is what makes this thing. And look at the
Yeah.
brow tines.
Brow tines are good.
Look at these, just tight. That's a heavy, heavy deer. It may not look as long, but he's got a lot more mass. So, I mean, those D2s are still 9, I'll bet. I think this is a tremendous trophy. You know, we're not hunting an outfitted property. We're not hunting something where they've been monitoring the deer and managing for them. This is just farmland that the deer happen to be on, and congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
That's great. His old neck's still
He is rutting a
swollen
little
up.
bit.
Oh yeah.
He died doing what he
died the
loved
way
to
I'd
do.
like to die.
Congratulations.
We discovered another great pure hunting destination, we put a big Kansas whitetail buck on the ground, and we wrote another great chapter in our hunting history. What makes it all the sweeter is that I know it's a story that will continue to be written for many years to come, as I pass down the love of the outdoors to my children. There are a lot of great adventures ahead, and I can't wait.